Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close for Friday, December 19th. We are almost there. Holy banana bread. This time next week, we'll have Christmas in our rearview mirror. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I ran into a really unusual story and I threw it in the headline. So as you guys know, there's been a little bit of a trade kerfuffle. There's the right word. Kerfuffle. There's been a little bit of a trade between Canada and, well, China. So one of the things that China has tariffed is seafood, of all things. Well, I was reading an article today. Guess what? Lobster. Well, lobster is seafood. So in Nova Scotia, lobster is down 20%. 20%. Holy banana bread. Compared to last year. So this might be the year at Christmas time, if you're thinking that I've had enough of the turkey, I've had enough of the ham, this might be the year to indulge in some lobster. Get the bib out, get the crackers, whatever you need to get into that shell. Maybe this is the year. So interesting side effect. Of course, fishermen not liking it as much because they're obviously not making as much money. They're just not. Yeah. What can I say? It's a Merry Christmas for the lobster eater, not so much for the fisherman, unfortunately. But nonetheless, I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. All right. Now, let's get into the normal stuff. Let's get into the charts. We got a green day. Actually, a pretty good green day, to be honest with you. Take a look at this. We are currently up 1.24%. This is looking like a green month, even before the Santa Claus rally began. Although, I want to kind of caution, if we get too high in the green before the rally starts, we could see a downtrend at the end of the month. We could. The way it's been going lately, though, I'm not counting on a downtrend. I'm still counting on a Santa Claus rally, but it is looking pretty darn good. A 1.25% up, as I mentioned, well above that blue line. And those of you who do not know what that blue line is, that's where we ended the last month. So if we're on the top of it, we're in the green. If we're in the bottom of it, we're down below. We're down below. What can I say? All right. Oh boy. Now, let's take a look at the US. Same story, but not quite as good. So they also have a green day. They're up 0.78%. Not too shabby, but they're below the blue line. So they're basically still in a red December. They've got lots of time, though. They can probably get above it. Depending on how things go next week. Now, one of the drivers for the market today has been technology. So the Nasdaq up 1.28%. So that's not too shabby at all. They're still in a red December, but like I said, we've got another whole week. To, a week and a bit, technically. Although there's a holiday in the middle, so it's a kind of a shortened week. And remind me later to talk about Wednesday's market close. Because, we might have to do it earlier because the market actually closes early on Wednesday. Which, in case those of you who have lost track of the holidays, that's Christmas Eve. So the Nasdaq up 1.27, Dow Jones Industrial, they are up. They're up 0.31, but the second half of the day, you can see we've got some red candles going on. So in a downtrend, but they're still up on the day. And the Russell are little guys, the little caps. They're also in a green day, up 0.77. Gold's looking good. Gold is in the green, 0.12 up. Silver's looking even better, up 2.38%. Copper is up as well, 1.28. And oil Oil's also up 1.58%. A lot of green on the market today because look at this, crypto. Bitcoin up 3.33, Ethereum up 6.06. It's looking pretty darn good. It's looking pretty darn good. So we got green across the board. I'm loving it. I think it's fantastic. Let's jump into a heat map here. I'll refresh this just to make sure we got up to date because sometimes it can get a little slow, but not a lot of red. We got a little bit of red. I mean, well, CNR, by God. Guys, come on, stop going down. They're down almost 1%, so 0.98. But looking over here, the banks are all looking good. TD up 0.88, Royal Bank a full 1.35. Looking over here, Barrick Gold up even more today, 2.95%. Cameco also up 3.33%. I've seen a lot of these 333s today. What's going on? Anyway, pretty darn cool looking. Oil, also nice to see some movement back towards the upside on Canadian Natural Resources, Cenovus, Imperial Oil, Torlamine, all of our favorites. Looking at the U.S. charts, we got NVIDIA's looking pretty strong, up 3.69%. Google's up. Microsoft up 0.26. Broadcom is up. Apple seems to be the one's kind of the one staggerer. They're down a little bit as well. Well, Tesla too. Tesla's down 0.12%. So we definitely have some interesting. It's an interesting day for sure. Looking at crypto, also keeping my eye on the bell. We got a lot of green. Look at this. Look at XRP up there with 6% up. Ethereum 7.64. Solana 8.6. I love it. Now, we have a tradition here. I like to just grab an altcoin, and it's a green day on Crypto World, so we're going to grab a red coin. Let's grab this one here. I don't know what this is. Let's see. So this here is Connexium. It's like, what happened? Did they find a new element on the periodic table? I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's kind of weird here. I'm looking at its chart. Oh, let's see here. Give me a line chart. Here we go. Yeah, it's worth about 19. Well, it's closer to 20 cents. So it's worth about 20 cents. Don't know what it does. It could be a game. It could be pretty much anything. I wish it would actually tell me what this coin was about here. Well, let's take a look. What is this mines? I've never looked at this. Oh, it's if somebody has a mind to say something about it and nobody does. Anyway, I point these coins out because, well, there's about 15,000 of these altcoins out there. And as easy as it might be to go in and start looking for one to make some money on, it's not easy. It's very hard. In fact, it's very much like playing craps, which is why I call them crap coins. Because you throw the dice and the odds are not in your favor. They're not in your favor at all. If you are interested in something like a Connexium, or Canexum, or however you pronounce it, read the white paper. Make sure you understand what it does. Make sure that you have faith in what it does. But honestly, if you want to make money in crypto, I would recommend you stick with. All right, let's see here. Oh, it opened it in a new window. All right, stick with your Bitcoins. Stick with your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, Solana, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin makes a lot more sense. All right, let's go big screen. Let's hit up chat. We got a lot of time actually before the bell. We've got about 5.5 minutes. Brian in the house first today. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you want to do a Monday show, the Financial Express is it's active. It is active. So today would be the day that we throw on that Monday show if we want it. That would take 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination of either. You guys know the drill. And of course, if we go to 5, We bring out the dancing Christmas goat, and that makes me laugh. So I'm already kind of chuckling thinking about the Christmas goat. All right, Brian says, I am whispering, what an awesome day in the markets. I don't want to wake up the bears. I know. Yeah, like I'm saying, yeah, it was a pretty good day for sure. So let's hope the Bears go. Let's hope they're on vacation. They can go away for the holidays. And Jonathan says, nothing says Christmas like a good lobster dinner. Yep, wow, those lobsters. Um, Now, as a true maritimer, I can eat a lobster without any utensils. Without any utensils. And I've had a few people say, no, you can't. No, you can't. You got to use a cracker. I'm like, nope, don't need a cracker. I can do it. I can do it. Basically, the key well, use the lobster's claw. Get one of the claws. Use that to break everything else. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. So I can do it. I mean, obviously, it's faster if you're using like your nut crackers and all of those things to get into your lobster. And I will tell you another thing too. As much as I love lobster, it is one of those foods I don't want to eat all the time. I wouldn't want lobster every day for sure, but and I'm a person who can eat the same thing every day and be quite happy. But lobster is just one of those things that I think it's a special occasion thing for me. Brian says, my mother and brother and sister were born in Nova Scotia. I don't like lobster. They tried to disown me. Oh no, Brian. It's all right. My brother, also born in Nova Scotia, does not like lobster. Actually, he doesn't even like seafood of any kind. And we still accept him. We still accept him. Cowboy is in the house with a greetings all. And I just realized I have no idea what time it is. I had to quickly look. So we still have 2.5 minutes. I'm getting my hand on the bell. I'm putting my hand on the bell because then the inconvenience of doing that and leaning on this bell over here, that will make me remember. Jonathan says, it is a dark and stormy night in Halifax. Oh, yeah, actually, it's warm here today. It's like I think it got up to 8 degrees, but it's been raining most of the day. So, and most of our snow is gone, but we got snow coming, I think, on the weekend to make up for it. So what can I say? Claude says, hello, what a week again. I know. I mean, that TSX just seems to want to go out on a high every week. I'm not going to complain. And we have Luke in the house. Hi, everyone. Can you believe I've been following Candace for 5 months now, and I've never caught the beginning of a show? Today is the day. Welcome, Luke. I approve. I definitely approve. Yeah, welcome to the beginning of the show. But guys, if you're late, you can always watch it on replay, or especially around the holidays. Like, if you got family things to do your family things. Watch me later. That's what I always say. Cowboy says, nice to see green. Scott, in the immortal words of Ruby Rohad, Rudy. Is that like no, I'm trying to think. I was like, is that the wrestler? But no. And we got we just got under a minute left. Michelle, happy Friday. Vancouver is cold. What the heck? It's like everything's reversed. It's cold in Vancouver and it's raining in Ottawa. So it might be my fault. This might be my fault. You have a voice delay running. What? I shouldn't. There should be no. And I'm currently in StreamYard. So there should be, there's about a 15-second delay. So, when I say boo, 15 seconds later, you guys go, ah. But, yeah, 15 seconds. That's what it should be. Happy Green Day, Candace, says Heather. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And guys, we got 8 seconds left. So no more comments until the bell. And here we go. Woohoo! Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the weekend. Markets closed. Holy banana bread. We are there. And I had a pretty good bell week. So I am liking it. All right, a value man. I lobster, then I flounder, but I didn't give a carp. So I said the halibut. That's actually kind of funny. That's actually funny. I like that. I appreciate humor like that, guys. I really, really do. Jungle Eddie, my boring portfolio is up 10.7% year to date. You know what? There's nothing wrong with boring if it's making you money. That's my motto for sure. All right. Marsh Ebel says, "What a ripping day this has been. It's been a good day. It's been a good day." Oh, and there's the night bot just reminding us about the Financial Express. And Luke says, "Nice green day. Even my REITs are up. Dream Industrial in particular. Nice. Gotta like it. Need to silence your split personality." My split personality. I think you're having some sound issues. Cowboy, like leave the chat and come back. maybe even shut your browser down and open it back up, because I think everybody else says that they're hearing everything normally. So just, yeah, absolutely. Just maybe do this. Anyone else hearing this? Let's see. I hear a voice normally. Mark says, "I think I might be a green Christmas. Snow melted in Kingston and portfolio up." Nice. Bears are hibernating. I like it. Oh, windows open. My bad. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm glad you solved the problem. Brian says, "I don't like seeing DJT stock up to $16 based on the merger with a nuclear company that will allow him and his family to grift off the U.S. for years." I hear you. Yeah. And a congratulations to Jungle Eddie from Heather. TSX closes 1 p.m. on the 24th. Yeah. So on the 24th, our market close, we're still doing it. We're going to do it at like, 12:45? Or you know what? We're going into the, 12:30. Let's do it at 12:30. I'll change it on the schedule. I will change it on the schedule. And then we got 2 days, like the 25th and the 26th. The TSX is closed both of those days. So we get a much needed break. Although we do have a stream on the 25th, our annual Christmas Day stream. I love that one. That one's always fun. All right, Cowboy, how is your weather? Plowed out yesterday, drifted in today. Oh, that's to Rory. The weather here is good. We've already established that. Brian, QDTE, which gave me a dividend of $6.66 on the down market last Friday. They gave me $6.68 on the green market today. Nice. Yeah, extra 2 cents. It also makes that number a little bit less evil, right? So what can you say? And Rory says this is in regards to how the weather is for Rory. Just a miserable, blowing, snowy day. I shoveled this morning, but yeah, it keeps blowing over again. Oh, I did see something a little funny, guys. I was watching a segment, a clip on an interview with, they were interviewing Doug Ford and Mark Carney. And I've realized something. So when Doug Ford was answering questions about that advertisement that he sent down to the U.S., the one that really annoyed Donald Trump, they asked him if it was a good, and he was like, "Yeah, it was a good move. It was a good ad." And he was going on about it, and I realized watching Carney in the background, he made this sour face, and I'm like, "Oh, there you can't keep your emotions to yourself, Mr. Carney." It was actually kind of funny. One of the reporters then called him on it as well. But anyway, Claude says, "In 2026, Candace, you should start a new tradition and write something on those community discussions for the crap coins." Yeah, we could just write something in saying, we were here. We don't know where, but we're here. Yeah. I don't even know if I have the ability to do that, but that would be funny. Luke says, I'm in Victoria, BC. I have flowers blooming in my garden today. Daffodils are starting to poke out. Nice. Nice. No, there is a lot. There's a lot of you guys in Vancouver or on the island. I am pretty sure we got a couple from Nanaimo. We got, well, Victoria. We got Vancouver. I don't know if we have anybody from Campbell River yet, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get. I want one person from Campbell River. That's my goal, is to get one from Campbell River. All right. FEQT, what are your thoughts? Annual dividend. All right. So yeah, FEQT, once again, we're looking at an all equity fund. So diversification through the roof. Actually, and this one has crypto, has got Bitcoin exposure in it as well. A lot of the other ones, like XEQT, does not have a lot of Bitcoin exposure. You know, I would say trace. There's probably trace amounts of Bitcoin exposure in like XEQT, but FEQT does have some solid Bitcoin exposure in it. It also has all of your diversification. So it is a very, very well diversified fund. So I love it for that. I think that's fantastic. But let me tell you, an annual dividend, oh boy. Um, I I don't like annual dividends. I don't like semi-annual. Um, you know, I'm okay with quarterly, but I really don't like them. But with that being said, if your strategy is long-term growth, long-term total return, this is still not a bad fund, and it does give you that Bitcoin exposure in it as well. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic fund. I wish they would at the very least head down to even at this point, even a semi-annual would be better than an annual. I'd love to see the dividend paid a little more, but once again, you're not getting a huge dividend anyway, so it may be a moot point. But that's just me. Brian says you jinxed yourself, saying you had a lot of time before the bell. I know. And Elaine says, "Good afternoon." Oh, I see something ahead here. Let me just jump on over here. All right, guys. So Heather gifted herself a channel membership. So that has opened up the corral. We have our first goat of the stream. 3 more of these, or 3 more of supers, or whatever, and we will have ourselves a Monday market close. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And of course, if we want to go one further, we got the dancing goat. But yeah, the dancing goat, all that does is that just makes me laugh. That one makes me laugh. Absolutely. All right. Okay, let's see here. Where was I? Boop, 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 boo. I was. That's a problem. Sometimes if I jump ahead, it's like I gotta find where I was. All right, we were talking to Cowboy about FEQT. And then we had Elaine, good afternoon. All right, now I'm back on track. Mario says, good afternoon, everyone. And we got Ian in here. I need to win a channel membership. I went to buy one and could not because my YouTube is set to Colombia and can't pay with pesos. I tried. Oh, really? That would be funny. It's like, get an extra section on my analytics for pesos. Yeah, that would absolutely be funny. All right. Well, hopefully, if anybody does gift a membership today, hopefully it goes your way, Ian. Hopefully it goes your way. Let's see. Rusty Pot Brewer says, what are your thoughts on QNC? Canadian tech stocks seem to be running. Let's head over to let's head over to QNC. All right. Oh yeah, we were looking at this one yesterday, guys. Actually, I think we were looking at this one on the membership stream last night. 9-point Barrick high shares ETF. And this is like, this is what this is the power of gold. Now, normally, and you guys know if you watch today's video, you know I'm not a huge fan of single stock ETFs. But this is one, and I do not have confirmation of this, but because it's doing so well with its growth, yes, gold is growing big time, and obviously there's lost upside potential, but I'm thinking this is probably an OTM, so out of the money fund. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here for QNC. It just happened to be that that was right there. All right, QNC. So here we go. This is our Quantum Emotion Corp. Quantum Emotion. It's actually a pretty good name. Now, Quantum, I am very, very, very bullish on Quantum. Now, let me just pull up the 1 year on this one here. And this is kind of an interesting one. Like, we've been seeing some big spikes on this one recently. Like today, I think this spike here is today. So yeah, up 12.12%. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And well, it's a quantum company, but here, let's just take a look here. So they're working on developing hardware and software-based cybersecurity solutions. Perfect. And they have, a quantum random number generator. Okay, so they're creating, it's not so much that they're creating quantum tech, but they're using quantum to create more secure technology. That's actually pretty interesting. That's interesting. I like the idea of that. This sounds like something that would definitely be very valuable, especially as we start to move more and more towards quantum computing, and it's coming faster than many of you probably realize. Now, let's take a quick look at their back end here. This is one of those things I always like to see, and we got nothing here. That's it's a smaller company. Sometimes that happens. We can check on Yahoo, but where is my Yahoo? Oh boy, I think I lost my Yahoo. That's fine. We'll just duplicate this tab and we'll put in Yahoo Finance. See if I can get that back end that I put Yahoo Finance. There we go, Yahoo, let's try this again. Here we go, Yahoo Finance. Bang. All right, let's go in here and we're going to type in a QNC. And we'll see if they got a little bit more information here for us. All right, well, the stuff I'm looking for is down here. Oh, they do. They got a little bit more. All right, this is one of the things I was looking at. I wanted to see how much debt they have. That's not bad. 0.24%. So they've got very little debt. Now, what's interesting about that, though, is when we look at their return on equity, negative 59.37%. So they're not profitable, at least, and I want to point this out, at the last quarter that they would have reported, because this data will come from that quarterly report. So if we are pretty deep beyond that quarterly report, it's not going to reflect any of the big movements that we've seen in the last little bit for them. So it could be different than that, but here's the thing. The fact that they have very little debt while they're unprofitable is actually kind of impressive. So we'd have to sort of see what's going on, look into them a little bit deeper, but I do like what they do. I like what they do, and so far it seems like investors are starting to like this company as well. So yeah, Quantum Emotion Corp. It could be interesting. It is because of that negative ROE, return on equity. I would be hesitant to jump in, but not hesitant to watch. And this one could be a good one for some play money for sure. Yeah, I think we should watch this one, QNC. Let's see what happens. All right. Hey all, says Bleak. Scott, Ruby Road is the character from The Fifth Element. Oh, yeah, with the funny hair, right? I mean, that's probably half of the characters from The Fifth Element. Yeah, but I think I know which one you're talking about. Mark says, I prefer watching you live. It's like watching a sports game later. You don't feel like you're a part of it. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, what's nice about watching live is I could say something and then you can jump in and say, wait a minute, what about this? And I've been like, okay, let's look at that too. All right, Anchor Tours. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. My daughter's fiance is a lobster fisherman. A lobster is so common here, it's really not a special occasion when you have it. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, quite literally, you can, if you know where they are, there's usually fishermen in different places where you can just pull up to their truck and buy some lobster. But lobster is good. I mean, like I said, it's good. I don't want it every day, but I do really love it. Did you make the bell every day this week? I think I did. I think I pretty guys, anybody who's been here every day, did I make it every day this week? I think I did. I know there was that big epic miss, but that was last week. Last week I had that one bad day. But I think this week was good. I think I'm good. Holy banana bread. Good afternoon. Sound is just fine. Awesome. A nice pump for Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, I haven't actually, I haven't seen Bitcoin Cash, but let's just see if it's popping up over here. Sometimes if we get a big pump, oh yeah, look right here. BCH up 9.34%. Not too shabby. Who bought BB today? So BB, you guys know BB, that's BlackBerry. And I've been talking about BlackBerry for a long time. Like I think BlackBerry is going to be big down the road. And holy banana bread, what a drop. This is not a bad entry point, guys. So, and keep in mind, when it comes to BlackBerry, you're not going into BlackBerry for quick wins. You're going in for a longer road for sure. That's not bad. Yeah, if they stay low on Monday, I might just have to scoop up some BlackBerry because, I do love BlackBerry a lot. Janet says, or Janet Lynn, maybe you go by Janet Lynn opposed to Janet. I don't know. Hi Candace, I'm one of the lurkers. Everything green except my Canadian apartments. Yeah, your Canadian apartments, are they white? Are they very white? Depending on where you live, you could have a lot of snow. And Paul says, a new vet bills for dog. Damn, I thought it was going to be all paid off. Dog has mange, plus other tests and meds. Oh boy, yeah, vets are crazy expensive. As a pet owner, it's like I can't take a cat to the vet and leave with a bill less than $200. It seems to be impossible. But yeah, it's pretty big. Cowboy, heard Ford is shutting down until March to try to avoid the flack on upcoming job losses. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard. I saw an article on Ford the other day. I didn't read it though. But maybe that's what it was all about. Luke, Canadian energy stocks were on sale this week. I couldn't decide what to buy. So I loaded up on more ENCL at 1780. I have 4,500 shares now. At 16%, it's providing, a lot of monthly income. Absolutely. And I do think we're going to see, I think energy will be stronger in 2026 than 2025. So ENCL is that plays in well to ENCL because if we get especially if we don't have a banner year, but we have a nice steady climb throughout 2026, add in that leverage on ENCL, and that could actually be a really good fund next year for sure. All right. Heather had a whiteout in the afternoon, so had to turn around and come home. We'll shovel later after it stops blowing. Oh my gosh, yeah. Is this a Canadian rite of passage? You leave your house to go somewhere, but you have to return home because the snow's just too bad. Yeah, I've been there. I think everybody here probably has, except Larry. I haven't seen Larry today so far. So, All right. Comox. All right. Another. Look at this. We got a lot of BC. BC is in the house big time. All right. Brian says Ford got millions of dollars of free advertisements in the U.S. When is Trump? Yeah. Well, I'm thinking this is a ticked off Trump. Yeah, news outlets around the country played the ad for free. Exactly. Gotta love it when the truth sucks. It happened for sure. Paul, blocks up 6.44, and HBTE up 6.19 today. Go Santa rally on crypto. Yeah, absolutely. And guys, we got the wonderful Mary in the house with a good afternoon. And Mary is our official captain of the like button. Now, let's go big screen for this. So, guys, if you haven't yet hit that like button, let's do it. Let's do it now. I'm going to have some coffee while you guys are doing that because it's a good thing for the channel. It's a good thing for the algorithm. If you're a YouTuber, you learn to appease the algorithm every way that you can, for sure. Oh, so good. CoreWeave that is inside blocks is up 22.64%. Nice. Nice. That's actually nice. Now I don't know a lot about CoreWeave. Let's see if I got let's see here. CoreWeave, here we are. So yeah, look at this, guys. This here is CoreWeave. It jumped from 67 to 82 today. I'm wondering if they had earnings. They might have, but we'll take a look. So this one here is full on growth. Oh, interesting. I'm kind of curious now about their back end. Why not? We'll take a quick gander here. I'm not even getting much data here. All right, let's take a look. What is their ticker? CRWV. I'm kind of curious here if they had earnings today. CRWV. There we go. CoreWeave. Bang. Boom. All right. Let's take a gander. All right. No, they did not. They did not have earnings, but there's some news here. Let's see. Let's try this here. China's Tencent is accessing banned NVIDIA chips through the cloud. CoreWeave stock soars thanks to Energy Department win and bullish city note. Okay, so something they won something with at least, what is it, with the Energy Department. So yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, analysts are saying that this one will go up a little bit higher later in the year. So if that's inside of blocks, that's not a bad move. Not a bad move. Just going. Oh, look, guys, the TSX did falter a little bit at the last hour. The last hour, we had a red candle. Oh, boy. But we still finished in the green nonetheless. Mario, Ian, you need a VPN, then you can set your location in Canada. Yeah, exactly. That's one option. What VPN works good on an iPhone? That's a good question. I know a lot of the videos that I watch, like I watch a fair amount of tech videos, and they're usually always promoting Surfshark, but I've never tried Surfshark, so I can't tell you if it's good or not. But I'm just saying I've seen it on a lot of those videos. But keep in mind too, they're paying them for that, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they're good. It might just mean that they have a good bank account and they're they're paying to get their name up. But yeah. All right. Rory says, I know Regina and southern Manitoba are whiteout conditions. Round 2 of another Alberta Clipper. Yikes. Now, hopefully that snow, we're getting snow on the weekend, so I can't say hopefully it stays away. It's coming. It's coming. All right. Cowboy says, wanting Santa to bring me a tractor with a cab and a heat. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, and we got, first of all, Doorpat. Yes, that was funny. Yapoo. Luke says, and we got a QQQ. Candace, I'm a large shareholder of Canadian Apartment REIT. We just got a notification about a special dividend. It's confusing. Are you able to explain how it will impact shareholders? All right, let's take a look here. Canadian Apartment REIT. Let's head on over and we'll see if we got the information here. We might. Let's see. Canadian Apartment Property. So CAR.UN. Let's pull this up. And I'm actually interested in one place. I'm interested in their key data. All right, let's go in here. All right, so yeah, in here we're not seeing anything. I'm seeing the regular dividend of 12.9 cents. That'll be paid out on January 15th. However, let's go to their news page and see if we got a news article on this at all. Let's see here. Strategic acquisitions. Non-cash distribution. Here we go. Right over here. And let's pull this up and take a look. So it's non-cash, so you're not going to get any money. Let's see here. So monthly distribution in the amount of, there we go, okay. All right, so it's declared, let's see, a special non-cash distribution of 90 cents per share payable in units of, okay, there we go. So what they're doing is basically you're getting, for every share you have, you're getting 90 cents worth of more shares. So yeah, so basically you will receive extra shares. That's what you're going to get on this, Luke. You know, if you have a lot of shares, you're probably going to get a good amount of shares. But we'll actually, here, look, 90 cents. Let's just sort of ballpark this right now. So 90 cents, and this thing is currently 37. Oh boy. That's, the math is way too big. But basically, yeah, you'll get some shares in, depending on how many. So basically 90 cents if you work that out. So let's say, well, here, let me try something here. Give me a second here. I think, and I know I've disappeared from the circle, but I'm trying to grab, gosh darn it. Yeah, here it is. All right, I have, we'll go big screen just for a moment here. All right, I got my Canadian Securities Institute calculator. Oh boy. All right, so basically, all right, if you're getting 90 cents, so you're getting 90 cents worth basically for every share. So there we go. Give me a second here. If you had, let's say you have 1,000 shares. So if you had 1,000 shares and you get 90 cents for each of them, that would basically be worth $900 of new stock. And just a second, they're currently sitting at 37. I'm just going to do the 37. So that means you'd get about 24 shares. So if you had 1,000, you'd get about roughly 24 shares. All right, there we go. So in other words, you won't notice a lot unless you've got a whole bunch. Now, I don't know how that will work with partial shares, and because obviously some brokers don't deal with partial shares, so it might be a rounding thing. But Luke, if you're holding a good number of them, you're going to find that you're going to get some free shares. Basically, that's what it works out to. It's not going to, it'll be interesting to see how the broker handles that at tax time, because they may try to count it as a distribution. So it might actually get counted as a distribution when tax time rolls around. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'd have to wait till we see what tax does, but it might be counted as basically another distribution. Now, if you're holding it inside of your TFSA, no worries, or your RRSP, no worries at all. But if you're holding it outside in a non-registered, they could, for tax purposes, count that as a 90-cent distribution. And because it's coming from a REIT, it could be 100% taxable. It could be. I'm not 100% sure if that's how they're going to handle it this time around, but typically that's probably what would happen outside of a register. But I have a feeling you got it in a register because you really want to hold REITs in a registered. You don't want to hold REITs outside of your TFSA really, because it's 100% taxable. That distribution, it's not good. All right, Cowboy says, let's see, my Kubato may need a cab. Can't spend extra green on green paint. All right, BMO is doing a special redistribution of funds. I either get a higher ACB or more shares. Oh, okay. Gosh, which one would you rather have? I kind of look at it this way. If I was holding BMO for the long term, I would probably go with the more shares. But if I was holding them and I really wasn't that attached to them, I might let them bump up my average cost base, because then if I'm selling down the road, I would have a smaller capital gains. Now, but once again, if it's in a TFSA, you know which one you want. You want the more shares. Simple as that. Because the bumping up the ACB, your average cost base, nope, not gonna help you at all. So yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, and we got one already, so we are 3 away from a show on Monday. Let's see. Jim Patterson loves his green paint. Claude says, yeah, perfect week for the bell. Congrats. Angels are happy. Yes, no devils got their horns. No devils. And those of you who are like, what the hell are you talking about? Pun kind of intended in that as well. Somebody said that last week, somebody said every time I get the bell on time, an angel gets its wings. And then somebody said every time I miss the bell, an angel gets its horns. That's where that comes from. Scott says, I'm multitasking 2 live streams and missing half of each. I'm going to bow out here. Have a great weekend and hit the like button. All right, absolutely. It's hard to watch 2 streams at once, definitely. Mario says, I picked up some oily today and HDIV almost at a all-time high. Yeah. The Canadian market has just been so good. It's been really good. 2025 is definitely, it's the year of the TSX. It's the year of the TSX. There we go. I called it. Jim Patterson fired more people than Trump. Paul says, temperature here is 6 degrees per the Weather Network and 6 degrees from Carr when we came back from the vet, but Google is trying to say it's 2 degrees. Oh, bad Google. I hear ya. Here we go. Roku says, been using Surfshark for a couple of years. No problems and great passive ad blocking. Watch for Boxing Day sales. I think they're owned by NordVPN. There we go. So yeah, now we actually have somebody who's used it. So now I feel a little bit better that I mentioned Surfshark. Cowboy, I like free shares on splits. And Errol says, what do you think about Biggie? I do like Biggie. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do a couple of things. Let's go to Evolve. Let's go to Evolve. All right, here we go. And we're going to Biggie. Here we go. Come on, Biggie. Bring them up. All right, here we go. Evolve US Equity Ultra Yield ETF. Whoops, I don't want to do that. All right, so here is our good old Biggie. Of course, this is one of the semi-monthly ones, so you get paid twice a month, 31 cents. Well, actually a tiny bit more, 31.25 cents. That's not too shabby, All right, I wanted to take a couple looks at a couple things. So first of all, this one here is holding entirely US, so this is a full US play. It's it's kind of, it's a little bit like HHIS. And we talked about that yesterday. And somebody was like, well, should I just get HHIS or should I get Biggie? Well, the difference is the split. So as you'll notice here, technology. So HHIS is very heavy on technology. Most of the stocks are NASDAQ, most of them, not all of them, but a lot. It's very tech heavy. Biggie, on the other hand, if you take a look here, technology pretty much makes up about 5%. So, sorry, 50. It makes up, that's hilarious, but it makes up about 50%. I got distracted for a second because, let's just do it right now. Let's do it right now. Garden has come in with 5 gifted subs. So we're talking, congratulations, first of all, to Fire by Chance, South Star, Pudding Grove, JJMA, and Under 49ers. Sorry, Ian, you didn't win. But that, of course, opens up the show. We are going to get a Monday show. We are there. So that, of course, makes spring the goat. So we got the goat. Now, I could just show the other goats as well, but I'm not going to. But we did hit the 5, so I will bring up. Ah, boy, here we come. You guys are ready. It's time for the Christmas dancing goat. Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, my God. It gets me every time I see it. Oh my gosh. There's our Christmas goat. There is our Christmas goat. Oh boy. Oh, oh gosh. Thank you very much, Garden, and congratulations to all of those who have picked up a membership. So, oh, I love that goat. All right, so we're back. We're going back to the biggie. So yes, so we are looking here. So when you take a, oh, let me pull this up. Was I, okay. I'm beginning to think I may not have been on the screen at all. All right, so let's backtrack. So here is Biggie. You're getting 2 dividends a month, basically a little more than 31 cents, but roughly 31 cents twice a month. Fantastic. This one, as you can see, 100% allocation to the United States, 50% basically, well, 47.93 is technology. Then we've got some communications, we got some consumer cyclical, and we got some finance in here. So we got a little bit more diversification. So with Biggie, you are getting more diversification than you are getting with HHIS. Now, what's the downside to that? There's always a downside. The downside with in comparing this to HHIS is if we get a huge tech pump, yeah, this one's going to do great. But HHIS will do a little better because they do have that bigger concentration in tech. But at the same time, if tech has a big fall, HHIS will feel it more than Biggie will. So I do like Biggie for that reason. And here, let's just give you an idea of some of what they're holding. So you'll notice, you can see there's a lot of the tech companies in here: Tesla, Alphabet, Apple, Palantir. Well, Palantir really isn't tech. That's more, to me, that I mean, it is kind of tech, but it isn't at the same time. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Coinbase, Strategy, and what else do we got in here? We got, let's see, I thought, yeah, this is looking, oh, and these are all the call options. Okay, all right, they put the call options in there too. I was like, what's going on there? So those are just some of the, these are some of the covered calls that are being written, just so you know. Yeah, very cool. All right, so what do I think about Biggie? I do like Biggie. Now, I want to also, let's just come back here. I know the last time I was looking at Biggie, there wasn't a lot of data. And even now, still, you can still see, like, they're down from their initial launch. So yeah, I'd like to see them do a little bit better. I'd like to see them do a little better. I'd like to see what this is going to look like once we get a bit of history, because we don't have a lot of history yet That's the key part yet. But I do like Biggie. I like that diversification in it, and to me, it is very similar. It is very similar to HHIS, but like I said, you're getting that twice. You're getting dividends twice a month. Now, I think it is a little more aggressive on its covered calls, so you might, that I want to sort of see how that's going to chart out. How that's going to chart out. Right now, it's not bad. It's not bad. We'll see. We'll see what this is going to do. All right. Rory says, I was part of the CNQ split. Enjoyed that one. Oh, yes, that was a good one. I wonder what other show Scott Evil was watching. I don't know, but you know what? Scott missed the dancing goat. So, oh well, Scott, you missed it. Xenial, thoughts on the upcoming HPYB and HPYE from Harvest? Yeah. Let's, you know what? If we were at Evolve, let's head over to Harvest. Here we go. All right, Harvest, boom, ba-doom. All right, that's, yeah. Hey, go away. There we go. All right. Oh, those are for those ones. Those are not the ones I was looking for. Those are not the ones I was looking for, but all right. Harvest. Let's go to the media part. All right, let's see. These are the two I'm looking for right here. All right, perfect. So yeah, we've got these two that are coming out. One of them, HPYE, which is funny. Every time I see HPYE, I read hype. I keep on flipping it. My mind flips it. Not in a dyslexic way, but more in a, all the letters are there. It gets me. It gets me. So yeah, I certainly like. So this one here, this is their Harvest Premium Yield Canadian Bank ETF. So this one is kind of like their answer to 60. So, I have a feeling it's going to be similar. Now, I don't yet know what the distributions are going to look like, so it makes it a little bit hard. But honestly, the Canadian banking system is really resilient. It's a strong system. I love our banking system. So I think this will be a very good ETF, no matter what the details are once we get there. All right, now let's see here. What is the other one? Let's see. Yeah, they said they're going to announce some of the stuff on the date. So right now we don't have a lot of information. Oh, here's the other one. So the Harvest Premium Yield Enhanced ETF, so HPYE. That'll be interesting. I'll obviously I want to see what it is holding. So I don't know what I think yet about HPYE. But I think these will both be interesting funds. Now, the fact that this here is from December 12th, it does not take long. So I imagine we will be seeing these hitting in January. And that's going to be really, really cool. That will be really cool for sure. All right. Jonathan says, oh my God, that goat is a Christmas miracle. I know. Now, we'll need a New Year's baby goat. Maybe we could. It's actually funny. I've been laughing about this, and Jill said to me the other day, you should make another one. Just make another funny goat. So yeah, I might have to make another one, because I like that. That goat just cracks me up. Like, even quite literally, guys, when I made it, so when I made that goat, and I first saw it, I snorted, I made sounds. I mean, the noises coming out of the studio probably sounded like seagulls in heat. It was not good. It was funny though. It was so funny. In a diaper. Oh, maybe. Yeah, the baby goat year or New Year. Yeah, in a diaper with a sash, like maybe a sash that says 2026. That'd be kind of cool. Claude says, I'm thinking about getting out of Biggie and Q-Day when the prices go up a bit to concentrate more on HDIV, HYLD, and others more stable. That's a thing. And this is kind of this argument, is when you're looking at income investing, When that yield starts getting high, it usually means um, that they're writing at the money when it comes to the covered calls. At the money basically means that if you're stock, so because keep in mind, you're not writing covered calls on the ETF, you're writing covered calls on the stock underneath. So, all right, well, let's actually do one. You guys want to do? Let's do one. Let's just do one. I need a price. I don't want to just sort of make up a price. I just want a price. So let's say we'll do NVIDIA. There we go. NVIDIA, let's see here. Not the CDR, we want the US one. All right, so 180.99. I just want that price. And we'll bring up, we're gonna, we kind of talked about this last night. But here, I am going to, you know what? I will actually add a text box. All right, there we go. Here is our 180.99. I'm just going to bring this over. Bang, boom. So, all right, if we had a 180.99, so we want really big dividends. So the way to do that is it's at the money, ATM. So we'll just bring this over. I don't feel like drawing, writing. If I can type, why write? We'll just type. So at the money. So what would that look like? Now this is where I do draw. That's fine. I just wanted to get this in. So with at the money, I would basically be writing an option where I would do an option for 180.99. All right. So with a time limit, let's just say it is 1 week. We got a time limit. We got a strike price right here. So what this would mean, and we will have, of course, a premium price. So I'm just going to put a P right here for premium. That looks like 7P, doesn't it? That was supposed to be an arrow going up, but anyway. So we would set it at the money. That's what at the money means, right at where it's at. So anybody who buys this, they're paying a premium. So let's just say, for example, this premium was 75 cents. So anybody who's doing this, they're paying 75 cents a share, not just for one. And guys, I don't know what they're charging on their premiums right now. This part I'm pulling out of my butt. I'm pulling this part out of my butt. So they might charge 75 cents. And you think about it, if you've got 1,000 of these, well, you know, that adds up pretty fast. That adds up pretty fast. So, I mean, basically that would be what, $750, something like that. You know, you're paying quite a bit. And this is probably high, but I just want this high for a reason. There's a reason I want this high. So the person who buys this option, right away, they have the option to cash it in because you're already at the strike price. But what this person is hoping for, they're hoping that that price is going to go up. So maybe towards the end of the week, imagine if that price went up to $199. Well, they could cash it in at $199. They are only paying $180. So they're basically getting $19 for every share when they paid 75 cents to do that. So that's if that happened. Now, obviously, for the person writing this share, for writing this, they're kind of like, well, we're hoping it doesn't go up. We're hoping it goes flat or goes down because that would be best case scenario. But if it does go up, and we're using big numbers, guys, just to sort of illustrate a point. So in the real world, it probably would be a lot lower than this. But I want to kind of illustrate. So when you're looking at it this way, if this person does execute that option, so if they do decide to exercise the option, what's happening to, well, what happens here is they're getting that 180.99 back from when they sold it, and they're also getting to keep that, that premium as well. So fantastic. Now that premium, that's all going pretty much into the dividends or your distributions, but that's where that's going. That's going in there. So that's why you can charge higher. So let's say you didn't do at the money. You instead did, let's pull up another one here. You did something called OTM, which is out of the money. So with an OTM, where we have this 189, you know what? I'm just going to, here, let's just bring that 189 down here as well. All right, so if we have that 189 out of the money, well, that's a different story, because what's going to happen in this situation is they might say, okay, well, our strike price, it's not going to be 180.99. They might say, okay, well, we're going to do a strike price of $190. So what they're doing in this case is, yeah, if it in the same situation, if this went up to 199, you know, yeah, they would have to sell it. They would have to sell it in that 1 week frame, but they would be selling it for 190. So they still made some money there, and then they've got their premium. So in the above example, the premium was 75 cents. So here, maybe the premium is only 25 cents because you can't charge as much. So that is less money going into the dividends. All right. So what this all means, and this is kind of where we're all pulling it all back, is that when you want to have really big dividends, you have to go ATM. You pretty much have to go ATM for the really big ones. And those are going to be the ones that, yes, they're going to lose a lot of upside potential. You're going to underperform, at least your stock or your ETF value will underperform compared to the assets that you're holding. So not the best situation, but, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me just sort of put this down. So ATM, it's great if you are looking for pure income plays. So this is going to be pure income. Pure income. You might have, you guys have heard that word NAV erosion. You could see the NAV decrease in that situation. Yeah, you can, depending on what's going on. Now, I still like to see that NAV not decrease, especially if you're in a bull market. But, well, look at something like MSTE. We've seen that big time. Now, OTM, those are more for your, I'm going to go with GI. GI here, growth income. So if you're looking for some upside with some income, then OTM tends to be that better option, because, you know, you are grabbing some of the upside and you're still getting half decent income. So when you're looking at a new ETF, a new cover call ETF, if it has crazy high dividends, you pretty much know it's going to be in here. But if it does have dividends that seem a little bit lower, you know, like maybe they're down around 10, 11, 12, then you're probably looking at some amount. They're probably going to be an OTM for the most part. So yeah. And all right, so why would anybody ever want to go to ATM? You might ask that question, like, okay, well, this one here, you're at least, you know, you're not losing value. Your NAV in this case is more than likely going up. This here, over here, this is all about income, 100% income generation. So some income investors, if that's all that is important to you is that income, well, that'll make a lot more, the ATM will make a lot more sense. You're going to get higher income. So there are income investors, they're not concerned about the NAV. If the NAV goes down, great, I can get that higher yield at a lower price. That's kind of the, kind of the sentiment. And depending on what your goal is, like if you have a TFSA that's designed entirely for income, you're living off of that income's important, well, ATM is not that bad because you're not really concerned so much if things are shrinking a little bit. I would still be concerned personally if my total return, so if my total return is well, if my total return is not, is in the negative. So if my total return is in the negative in a situation like this, I'm out of there. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't even when I eventually have a full income portfolio. You know, when I retire, No, my total return I still need to have a positive. Now, I'm going to say that with a caveat, though. I'm going to say that with a caveat. A positive if we're in a in a bull market. Obviously, in a bear market, yeah, things are going to come down a little bit. That's a normal thing. But anyway, that ATM, OTM. I wasn't even planning on doing that today, but hey, why not? Why not? All right. Brian says Kenny came out at the same time as Biggie and has stayed near $25 since opening. Yeah, well, keep in mind too, the Canadian market has been outperforming. And yeah, let's take a look at Kenny actually. There's today's video, by the way, guys. Canny. All right, let's put out good old Canny. Here we go. Yeah, and Canny also has, well, Canny is not as, actually here, we'll pull, yeah, you can sort of see Canny has pretty much just moves flat. Now it does have a pretty, now, oh, that number's wrong. I was looking at that, I'm like, yeah, that's wrong, that's wrong. Yeah, its distribution is much higher than that. Sometimes with a new fund, TMX can really botch things up. It does have a pretty big dividend, but it's not as big as Biggie because you don't have as much volatility in the Canadian market as you do in the US. Simple as that. All right, let's see here. Paul said Biggie had a call option on Tesla for $4.55 and Tesla closed today at about $4.81. I did catch the expiry. Did it get called away? Interesting. Yeah, it depends. It's going to depend on a couple of things, though. Because here's the thing, though. Look at it this way. So if you have, sorry, let's go back to the, let's go back to the thing here. Oh, my head's behind Paul. Let's just say you have, you could have a week, maybe you have a month. So the time frame of that, of your option, of that contract is important because, if you have a month, let's just do a month here. And let's say your strike price is, let's just say it's all right, well, you said 455. So let's put 455. So let's say you hit 455 here. So you got a couple of options. Depending on what your premium is, 455 may not be viable. You may need a little bit higher, depending on what your premium is. Now, in your case here, you said we're at never mind. We're at 481. So 481, you're probably okay to take it at that number. However, if you've still got this amount of space left, and all indications are that maybe Tesla's going to climb a little higher, then you might not take it. You might say, okay, let's ride it out a little bit. See if we can get 500. Let's see if we can get 500. That might be an option. Or it might be on Monday. If it does start to slip a little, they might take it at like 475 because they're like, okay, we misplayed it. It really depends on what it's going to do. And like I said, the big thing is when it expires, how much time you have left. Like if you're very bullish on something, if I was very bullish on Tesla and I really felt that Tesla was going to be going up the rest of the month and I had till the end of the month to take it, I wouldn't take it. I'd let it ride and then I'd grab it. Hopefully I'd be grabbing it at 500, hopefully. Because that would be great. And imagine if you're picking up 1,000 shares, at $500 each, and you're only paying $4.55 for them. That's not too shabby. All right. Brian says Harvest has had a tough time with some of their ETFs lately. Just look at your last video as proof. Yes. It is that danger of single. When you have a single share ETF, it can be risky. I would rather, that's one of the reasons I like HHIS. It's just that, you are a little bit better insulated against some of the individual stuff. And like, and I won't talk too much about the things that are in the video because I know some of you probably haven't had a chance yet to catch it. But yeah, I like diversification. That to me, that just makes a lot more sense. And yeah, Harvest. Oh boy, yeah, a lot of Harvest is well represented in today's video. I'll leave it at that. I'll say they're well represented. Down 10% on Biggie as of today. Hope it will turn around and not lose dividends. I don't think it's going to lose dividends. I don't think that part I don't think you need to worry about. But if we get a solid performance in the market, we might see a bit of upside on it, hopefully. Brian says maybe make a bull for 2026 as your 5th super next year, hoping for a bull market. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That might be an interesting thing. Yeah. Maybe that can be a new tradition. I'll just make, there's the night bot. All right, night bot needs to go away. Let me just turn the night bot off. All right, here we go. Because we do have a Monday show already. Now let's go, we can go big screen. We can go big screen. Like I said, yeah, that might be an interesting idea. Maybe I'll just keep a 5th funny one there just for people who want to make me laugh, because sometimes people like watching me laugh. I'm not sure why, but Mark says, keep in mind that both HDIV and HYLD hold a bit of Q day, C day, S day. Yeah, they do. All right, Coach says, all right, let's see. I started with 5K just last week in 2025, and now I've hit... Oh, Coach, you're not a real coach. You're a scammer. Scammer, guys. We got a scammer. All right. Now let's let's say goodbye to Coach. As the umpire says, yep, you're out of there. You're out of there. Oh boy. What can I say? Oh, that was fun. That was fun. All right. Now, where was I after Coach so rudely came in? All right. Let's see here. Yes, Claude. All right. And Zenio, 9-point is guilty as well for single company ETFs. They are. However, and this is kind of the... Let's go back. Whoops, sorry, I got to bring this up. One of the things is when you look at some of these, now, let's see, 9-point Barrick, what is it? There we are, it's right there. Depending on them, so like this is one that we looked at. We actually looked at this one last night. So let's go to the 6 months. So this is the Barrick. This is their Barrick mining one. It's been doing fantastic. It's absolutely been doing fantastic. It released at, they released it around $10. It's now worth $16.95. Now, when we look at it, one of the first things you're going to notice is their distribution yield is 9.409%. So for that reason, and looking at the behavior of this one thus far, I think this is an OTM one. So if you're going to do a single stock, a single company, I think OTM is maybe a better way to go. Other than the fact that, yes, you are sacrificing a lot, really high yields, but how high do yields have to be? Like if you are, especially if you're a growth income investor, this is a little bit better. Now, I do not know all of the ones that that 9-point has. Like, I think they have, I don't know if they have any. Let's go here. Let's take a look here. I want to see if they have okay, they got a BCE one, CNR. I don't think they have any US ones, but let's go to this one here, Shopify. The reason I want to go to Shopify is more volatile. So if they're going to have some higher dividends, yep, here we go. This one here, look at this, 28.622. To me, this sounds like at the money. This sounds like it might be at the money, and let's take a look and see how this one has done. Okay, well, it's up. It is up, so that's a plus. But yeah, I see a lot more movement on it. So it'll be interesting to see, to watch these as they develop. 9 Point is new. Oh, and by the way, guys, Tuesday you'll finally get to see the 9 Point interview that I did. That's coming out on Tuesday, so that's always fun. And Brian says, "Bye bye, Coach." Yep. Yeah, you come in here and you try to scam my community. No way. You're out of here. That's what happens. All right, HBTE is my biggest loser at the moment. Yeah, and here's the thing, and the thing with HBTE is they do have a bit of diversification in there because they have a lot of the miners and that. There is still strong exposure to Bitcoin for sure. I still, it's the one I like. Like, if it was just straight Bitcoin and they were being incredibly aggressive on it, I probably would be a little more hesitant about it. I would probably be a little more, I probably wouldn't love it as much as I do. I still like this one. I still have some faith in this one. But obviously, and this sort of boils back to history. We don't have a lot of history on this. And when we finally get a bear market again, it's gonna be, I think a lot of people are gonna get schooled as a lot of investors are gonna get schooled in what a bear market can be like, and we're gonna see how a lot of these funds go. I'm gonna be watching them like a hawk, because if I see some bad stuff starting to develop on any of these funds, I want to let you guys know as soon as possible, type thing, because I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's see. Claude says it's crazy in some videos, all channels included. There are bots all over the comments talking about a random stock or financial advisor. Yep. Well, it's not even a financial advisor that they're really talking about. They're just talking about, it's like, oh, I was talking to Harvey Humpscruncher and his advice made me $50,000. And then, you have about 30 people who just all of a sudden appear and say, oh my God, yes, me too, me too, me too. You got to be really careful with them. Like, as a general rule of thumb, if you have in the comments, if someone replies in your comment and they're trying to talk you into, talking to somebody else on telcom or whatever, on, telecom, what was I going to say? On any of those things, whether it be WhatsApp or, just say no. Just say no. Or don't even say anything. Just report them, to be honest. I delete a lot anytime I see them. Like, I got this one little area. YouTube has gotten a lot better. Like, a lot of these people end up in my bad area. But this is the thing, and this is kind of why, if you guys notice where they're applying now to you directly, the reason they're doing that is that YouTube grabs them, throws them in the jail. I call it YouTube jail, throws them there, but you see the comment. That's the one down. That's why they're doing it that way, because they're basically, if they do it to a bunch of people, maybe one of them falls for their scam. So guys, just be careful. I will tell you right now, there's nobody on YouTube who's going to send you financial opportunities via WhatsApp or telecom or any of that at all. What can I say? Let's see. Elaine says, I bought some MSTE at $5 thinking it would maybe give me some income until strategy goes back up. It's like 1% of my portfolio, but yeah, it's red. Eager to see the next distribution. Yeah, I can understand that. And that's the thing. It is down. It is way down. But I'll tell you, guys, just be careful with that one. They have not proven to me any way, shape, or form that's a viable one. Because in a way, the volatility that we see between Bitcoin and what strategy is doing, if you keep getting accordion style ups and downs with something like HBTE, you're going to be losing upside every time on your way up, feeling the full force going down on the other side. That is not a recipe for success. See many replies on the scammer comments too. Yeah, but those are all scammers. It's the way they do it, because then if somebody sees it and says, "Oh, well, all these people are agreeing, yeah, yeah," no, no, it's still bad. Go to a bear market and it's back to Canoe and Bank. Yeah, Canoe actually did pretty good in the last bear market. So, and bank is solid. Anything like, I think bank, by extension. Well, it'll be interesting to see how 60 does. 60 does have more leverage, but I think 60 will be fine, and I think the banks are fine. So I'm not really too super concerned right now. Cowboy says bank is working well for me. Keep adding to it instead of adding 60. Yeah, I mean, and bank has more diversification. I will point that out as well, because with bank, you're also getting, of course, your life insurance companies and Power Corporation of Canada. No idea why they threw that one in, but yeah, absolutely. Actas says can't go wrong with bank and EIT. Agreed. Brian, BK is nice, and as well, keeping it at a 15% div as a split share, it could cut divs in a long bear market. It could. It really comes down to that NAV threshold. That's one of the things to sort of pay attention to. And you can actually pay attention to it as well. I mean, normally they will give you, if you go to their website, they should give you the NAV threshold. If they don't, just look at both the Class A and the preferred and add the two NAVs together. And as long as that number is well above $15, you're good. You're good. Rory says, I made $250K in one day. Ask me how. Mr. Smith did that for me. Oh, yeah, I know Mr. Smith. He made me money. Yep, that's exactly the way they do it. Exactly. Cowboy, BK provided me with 2 splits as well as FTN. And Mark says, MSTE is also 1% of my portfolio, was 5%, but have unrealized loss of 20K so far, but still holding. Might take the loss this year, because in my non-registered and rebuy in 31 days in my TFSA, 2026 TFSA. Yeah, and that's the thing. The one thing about MSTE is when we do have the next huge pump in Bitcoin, yes, you're going to lose a lot of upside potential, but for some of you, it might get you back in the green. So if you want to get out of MSTE, that would be the time to do it. I just hate to see people taking losses. Hopefully, though, in your non-registered, Mark, at least you can bank that loss. So if you ever do want to move out at something that really, really pumps, you can at least use that to sort of counteract the capital gains. But still, nonetheless, Rory says, I see Burger King with BK. I get it. Elaine says, love my eBank, and that's because you talked about it, Candace. Thank you. Got some bank HYLD and some growth VFV, VDY, XIC, and such. But yeah, had some fun around with MSTE. Yikes, yeah. Let's see. I watch for the dividend on my splits. No dividend, sell time. Div announcements. There we go. Well, that's another way to do it as well. BB looks like a promising swing. Yeah. Like I said, BlackBerry is down today. I do love BlackBerry. Here we go. There we go. That's exactly why they're in there too. Power Corp owns Great West Life. They're also the majority shareholder of Wealthsimple, just to sort of put that out there. All right, Brian, when the splits cut, it can be down 20% overnight. I've just held them and waited before. Absolutely. All right, guys, we hit that 1 hour, 30-minute mark. That's the length of time we normally use for these market closes. So we will be back here. Well, we're going to be here on Sunday. We got this week on Sunday, but we also have a market close on Monday. Thanks, of course, to Heather and Garden. So we will be back here Monday. We're going to do it. I'm going to do it all over again, of course. And also just a little housekeeping here. On Wednesday, because of Christmas Eve, we will be starting early. We'll be starting at 12:30 p.m. And then we'll ride out the market close together. We'll ride out and enter the holidays. We'll also be back here as well on Christmas Day. We have a stream Christmas morning, so always fun, always fun. And I'm always shocked that people show up to that one. I really am. But until Sunday, guys, Have a fantastic weekend. Tomorrow is it's a down day for me. It's a down day. One of those few days where I'll pick up the energy for the rest of the holidays. I can't wait. Until next time, guys. Enjoy your day, and I will see you later.